A knee injury has eliminated James Stewart from the 2007 AMA Motocross season, or has it? 21 points down, Stewart has a tough decision to make. With or without Stewart, there are 4 riders who smell blood in the water. 3 of them have never won an AMA Motocross race. With 3 rounds left and only 21 points separating first through sixth, the title chase will come down to the final round for the first time since 1999. The 2007 AMA Toyota Motocross Championship comes to Steel City Raceway in Delmont, Pennsylvania for round number 10. It's the 20th annual Monster Energy Kawasaki National. It's also round 3 of the Monster Energy Kawasaki Triple Crown of Motocross, which stood a chance of being won by Ricky Carmichael, who won High Point and Redbud earlier this year. RC's not here. The bonus of $30,000 will not be paid out. However, the rain did show up. Hi, everybody. Ralph Shaheen alongside multi-time national champion Jeff Emig and Aaron Bates here with us as well. And Jeff, we've got a muddy racetrack.
Well, and you can see the track workers really trying to push that mud off the side of the track. Take a look at Tim Ferry early in practice. Grant Langston there seeing just how muddy and deep those ruts are.
Here's Aaron Bates with the Progressive Direct pre-race report.
You can remove that question mark. It is official. James Stewart is out for the remainder of the 2007 season after sustaining a knee injury to his left knee competing at round number 8 Washougal. I talked with the team manager Mike Fisher yesterday afternoon to find out how severe the injury is. Well, as of Wednesday, he's going to be going in to have surgery on his left knee, and it's going to take about 4 months for him to heal himself up to be 100% prepared for the Supercross season. With that being said, his teammate, Tim Ferry, number 15, will be filling in for him at the Motocross of Nations, and at this point of the season with the battle heating up, we're going to consider this a beautiful mess.
And Jeff, I think based on the injuries, you take a look at the points chase here, tie between Ferry and Short, probably the right move by James Stewart and his cramp.
No doubt. It is extremely difficult to ride motocross with an injury, especially a knee injury.
Tim Ferry, one of the guys tied atop the points chase with Aaron Drew Short. Tim Ferry will take over the flag-carrying duties of Kawasaki in this chase for the championship.
Well, and the interesting thing is that Ferry and Short both were not expected to win this year. They were having great seasons so far. Now all of a sudden this pressure of winning the championship is upon them, and I'm not sure that either rider has been prepared, but they need to take advantage of this opportunity and give their very best effort here for the end of the season.
And Andrew overcoming injuries as well. He had a lot of injuries during the Supercross season. Got himself into the motocross season and doing a great job here. Let's take you back to Moto number 1 now and show you some of the highlights, and watch Mike Alessi get a huge pole shot as this one gets underway.
He just comes flying by on the outside. Kevin Windham actually got there first, but Alessi just carried that momentum to the front. And watch him wrestle this 450, just trying to find traction there. Track's going to develop as the moto goes on, as it gets a little bit hotter.
Tim Ferry on the number 15, however, in the thick of the points chase, but not a very good start here. Battles his way back into 4th.
Kyle Keelan up there running with the big boys.
That's where Ferry would finish. Andrew Short, however, the other man tied for the points, battles Michael Byrne for 6th here. Gets the spot away. And we take a look at the man who won Unadilla earlier this year, Kevin Windham. Passed Mike Alessi for the lead, but Alessi was not done yet on that Red Bull KTM.
And watch Windham here. He overjumps his tabletop, makes a little mistake. Mike Alessi was 4 or 5 bike lengths behind coming into the turn and just really puts together a good turn there and takes the lead back.
Grant Langston on the factory Yamaha number 8 catches Windham, and Windham has a problem.
Well, his problem was that Grant Langston overjumped the double and almost landed on it.
And look at Windham, does a little shortcut, but then does the right thing and waits and makes sure that Langston gets around him.
Well, by the AMA rule book, you need to enter the track in a safe position. He lets Langston back by, picks up where they're at. Good move, Kevin Windham.
Let's take a look at what happened to Wyndham again.
Watch Langston, and you see Wyndham. They actually touch in the air, and Wyndham just gets punted off the track.
But Grant Langston would then come back around, get inside, but Langston had his own problems.
Suffering from a little bit of the moisture there, finds a slick spot on the track and lays it down, but fortunately keeps the bike going.
So Wyndham's back out front, but guess what? Langston ran him down again.
And so we're going to do this all over again, one more time, but time's running out here in the first moto.
But nobody was able to catch Mike Alessi. And Mike Alessi and KTM go on to win their first ever motocross moto. Congratulations to both. Here's a look at the Toyota truck results out of Moto number 1. You can see Ferry finished 4th, Andrew Shorten finished 5th, so a little bit of a gap now in the points.
The points chase that moto. Everything swaps back and forth there. It's a scramble that's going to keep that points race really tight.
Here's Aaron Bates with Mike Alessi.
All that hard work and preparation definitely paid off for Mike Alessi, celebrating his very first moto victory in the Premier class. Mike, you've worked so hard for this. What does this moment mean to you?
Yeah, it means a lot. You know, just got a good start, you know, and rode a good race. Kevin was going a little faster at the beginning. Paced him, saw a few of his lines, and just capitalized when he made a mistake. And just want to thank all the guys at KTM Red Bull team for doing such a great job.
So Mike Alessi wins Moto number 1. How will he do in Moto 2? That's up next when we come back to Delmont. Is the passion for two wheels in your blood? Well, now you can get all the breaking news, in-depth analysis, and more with Motorcycle Racing Report, only at speedtv.com. Keyword green, presented by Kawasaki. There's a look at the Steel City, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, on the shores of the Three Rivers. Want to take a stab at all three?
Not a chance.
The Ohio, the Monongahela, and the Allegheny.
Very good, Ralph. I see you've been studying your geography.
Done enough races around this area. I have had a little bit of an idea of at least 2 of the 3.
Well, I think right now, taking a look at Tim Ferry, this is a rider that had the momentum. Lately, it's been a little bit off. He has to get some great starts, has to get up there, take some of those points away.
The format, 40 riders in the gate. We have 2 motos. We already ran 1. 30 minutes plus 2 in this one. Here's Aaron.
You're taking a look behind me at the number 501 of Kyle Keelan, who's coming in. This is only his second motocross race. And in this, he is coming in the Premier MX class himself. I caught up with him earlier, and he said the first moto, he wanted to get those nerves out of the way. He's never been so nervous in his life. But if you remember back in Millville, his very first race, he ended up getting a 20th overall. Obviously, that wasn't the result that he was hoping for, but the very first moto of today, running in 3rd and then a 10th overall. This is the son of Kenny Keelan, if you remember, the first rider from Florida to ever win an AMA motocross race. He's hoping that it's in the genes, and Dad has passed it down to him, hoping for a little better luck here for the second moto.
That would have been St. Petersburg, 1982, I believe.
Wow, Ralph, that is just incredible. But you know, that is has to be a great feeling to have your son teach him the sport of motocross and all that goes along with that, and have him come up and have these great finishes.
The Suzuki starting grid has everybody in the group here that we expect to see. Grant Langston, number 1, because he was fastest in practice.
That is right. He's been flying lately. He says he really has the opportunity to win this championship. He's been here before. He's won championships. He knows what it takes. And remember, a few years ago, it was Mike Alessi that he battled out to the finish for the championship. Both these riders are starting to rise to the top and really be able to deal with the pressure.
All right, who has the advantage in this starting gate, Jeff? You want the inside, in the middle, or on the outside?
Well, typically, Steel City here, this inside gate where Grant Langston is, was the spot. Here today, I think outside, more towards the box and sweeping around on the right, on the top side, has been the way to go. We'll see how it plays out.
Ryan Clark has the onboard. Here's the Honda aerial cam as we drop the gate.
See Clark just getting bottled up on the inside there.
And a couple of riders down. Tim Ferry and Jeff Alessi, Mike's brother, down. Ferry gets up and goes on, but not Jeff Alessi.
That is bad news for Tim Ferry. He is, once again, he is going to have to battle from behind just like he did at Millville. And we're going to have to see what Tim Ferry is made of, just how good his fitness is, because he has a lot of positions to make up. He's starting 39 out of 40 riders.
Kevin Windham is out front. Gavin Graysick sits in second, and there is Michael Lessie. And Grant Langston right behind him on the blue bike.
And remember, Grant Langston, Michael Lessie, they have history here. You see Langston getting a drive down the inside.
And he's going to make that work as we go high above. You can see Langston on the inside. That pass worked out just the way he thought it would.
Hey, these guys are locked in this tremendous championship battle. We're going to have to see which one of these guys makes a mistake at all, or if these guys battle all the way till that final moto at Glen Helen. I'm saying it's going to go the distance, and there's going to be more than 2 riders battling. I think Ferry's going to be in there, Langston, Short, and Alessi.
I think you might be right. Chris Bloss, by the way, is in the middle of this group on the 177. He got a great start with the gate drop.
Well, that's going to be a great feeling for him, but that's a tough position to be in. And you're not somebody that has everything on the line like this championship. It takes the intensity level up 2 or 3 notches.
He's in 6th with Ivan Tedesco in 7th.
You can see here in the second moto route, there's some new lines starting to develop. Track is dried out a little bit. There's still going to be that hard, slippery clay base on the bottom, but some of that mud that was on top will have dried up, and it's a little bit stickier, a little bit more traction.
Tim Ferry all the way up to 19th as we watch Langston working on Gavin Graysick. Graysick in the red riding gear.
There's also been rumors in the pits of Gavin Graysick having an engine that maybe has too many cc's. He says, put your money where your mouth is.
Check me out.
Check me out. If my bike is illegal, I'll put $5,000 towards your charity. If it's not, you put $5,000 toward my choice of charities.
Oh, there you go.
That answers the question.
Nobody has stepped up to match that yet, have they?
Not quite yet, nope.
Well, nobody has stepped up to match the pace of Kevin Windham yet here in Moto number 2 either. Windham is out front, and everybody's bottlenecked behind Graysick.
Graysick putting in such good rides this summer, just coming off of a great amateur career, has had some injuries and a lot of difficulties between then and now. But man, as he showed what he is made of, and it's a small operation backed by his father and a couple of small sponsors. This guy drives to some of the races in his own van, as we see Langston taking the position. But he keeps working hard. He keeps showing everybody at these races that he's getting better each and every week. And you're going to see him with a better ride next year.
Well, and that's the thing about motocross, Jeff, is that 20% of it is the bike, 80% of it is the rider as far as success.
Yeah, and it is so hard to get everything in order and to gain that confidence, and every little bit counts. As we take a look at the replay of the second moto here, and watch how the inside, Grant Langston was there on the blue bike, and the outside has to sweep around as the guys that were coming straight up towards the first turn had to shut off.
That 80-20, by the way, is not to say that the manufacturers aren't making great motorcycles. The point is they're all making pretty good motorcycles. Let's check in with Aaron Bates with more on Jeff Alessi.
He's been taken back to the medic unit, and what happened was he dislocated his left shoulder. They have just recently got his shoulder caught back into place, and obviously at the moment they're icing it and treating it and trying to alleviate as much pain as they possibly can, but it's got to be very interesting for Michael Alessi to come around the corner and see his brother lying there on the ground.
I think the only thing you can say after that, Jeff, is ow.
Ouch, yeah, that is another painful injury that Jeff Alessi has sustained, and he's had a pretty good summer going, so definitely a disappointment for the Alessi racing crew.
Well, we'll see if Mike Alessi can keep that out of his mind and focus on the task at hand for right now.
Back there on the big double. Here they go.
Alessi working Gavin Graysick. Graysick has just given up second place to Langston.
But it doesn't look like he wants to give up anything to Mike Alessi. He's been a little bit more stingy at this point in the moto.
And Andrew Short is behind him.
And you see Graysick just diving to the inside, and Alessi making an incredible move at the last second. He switched back out to the outside, carried more momentum around the outside. Good pass, Mike Alessi. Good thinking there.
Well, maybe he does have the focus he's going to need today then.
He's been in this position before, and he knows that that number 8 bike is the one that he has to finish in front of. He wants to be champion.
Meanwhile, up front, Kevin Windham having a very good run here leading in Moto 2. Raceway, round 10, the AMA Toyota Motocross Championship. Kevin Windham looking to grab another overall win here this year, leading in Moto number 2 at Steel City.
And don't you just love watching Kevin Windham ride a motorcycle? That style that he has, it is just perfection.
You know, I don't think I've ever talked to a motocross racer who doesn't like Kevin Windham's style.
Yeah, everybody, even other champions, they go, man, I wish that I had that style and technique. He just really does a lot of things good on the bike, and he does it so effortlessly. And the way that he uses his legs and his knees to control the bike, I think, is what is really special.
Tim Ferry, 19th position.
That's a pretty good effort, though, because he started 39th. Only Jeff Alessi, who was on the ground with an injury, was behind Tim Ferry. And he has just been gritting it out week in, week out. If there were points for passing, extra passing points, Tim Ferry would be way out in the lead, because every moto he's had to come from behind, but he's showing a lot of heart, a lot of determination, and showing that Team Kawasaki and himself have definitely been putting in a lot of hard work also to be at the level to do that.
He's going to have to gain a lot of positions if he wants to challenge the rest of the riders for this championship, which is going to wind down at Glen Helen in a few weeks. Of course, you'll see it here on Speed. Andrew Short on that 29 Honda, he's in the thick of that championship as well. In fact, right now, he's probably going to be the points leader.
We would have to check that, Ralph. I think you're definitely on cue there. Great battle at this point, though, with a privateer Honda rider and a factory Honda. So these are two different bikes, two different efforts. Grayson was telling me that he built an engine before the first round at Hangtown. They have not changed the setup since then. I'm sure that Andrew Short's bike, he's been through a number of days of testing trying to make that machine better.
And he works his way to the inside of Grayson. Grayson tries to cut it back. Gavin not giving up easy. He's really giving the factory guy some fits.
And I tell you what, there's every team manager that's out there, every team owner sees that type of effort out of Gavin Grayson and says, hey, you know what? This kid's for real. He's got a lot of heart, a lot of determination. He's battling the best motocross racers in the world, okay? And he's doing it on a privateer bike, a production machine. This is somebody that we need on our team for next year.
I'll tell you what, Andrew Short would probably back that right now, because you can tell Andrew's giving it everything he's got.
Just gets by on the inside, just gets one line closer. And when I talk about a line, we couldn't necessarily see it on the screen here, but I'm sure that there was just one little edge, a little rut, that Andrew Short was able to get inside of Grayson to take that spot.
So Andrew Short now in front of Gavin Grayson, trying to do what he can to put himself in position to stand atop of the points as Steel City wraps up. 2 rounds of racing left to go. The series will move on to Texas from here, a racetrack nobody has been to, and then it finishes up in September at Glen Helen.
And Kevin Windham has had such a great ride today, has been so focused and so strong. As we take a look at the second position, Grant Langston. Windham, without a couple of DNFs, a couple of bad motos, he would be right in the mix, and we would have a 5-way battle for the championship.
Michael Essie already winning his first career moto in the motocross class earlier today.
Definitely wants to take advantage of this momentum that he has from the first moto, and not only take his first moto win, but his first overall.
Kevin Windham in a good spot for the overall. He can hang on. Championship. Round 10 comes from just outside of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and Delmont, PA. That's the side of Steel City Raceway. Jeff Grant Langston and Michael Lessie battling over second place right here as you look at Langston.
Steel City has been the spot of so many great championship battles that have been won or lost at this event. It used to be the final event on the series. Now we're 3 events from the end, and this really sets the stage for the very last part of the championship, the home stretch.
And with James Stewart out of the championship now due to an injury to his knee, you got to wonder what would have happened if that number 4 had stuck around for a little while longer this year.
Well, there's no doubt that he would have won some more motos and overalls because Carmichael did that for 10 years straight. So there's no reason to think anything different.
Of course, they're talking about Ricky Carmichael, and there was some whispering going on that maybe he was going to show up here at Steel City. Won absolutely dominating fashion at Millville. He was, 30 seconds out in front of everybody as we look at Kevin Windham, our race leader here in Moto number 2. As that one wound down in Moto number 2 at Millville, he was just long.
Oh yeah, no doubt Carmichael was on his game. And right now, a couple of riders that are on their game is Grant Langston and Mike Alessi. Really putting in a strong effort. And Grant Langston really riding hard at this point in the moto. I think he wants this moto win.
Well, he definitely wants a shot at that championship, too.
Well, the best way to win the championship is to go win the motos. You get that 25 points. The gap between first and second in points, it goes 25 to 22, so you get that little extra point for winning. Only a 2-point gap between second and third.
And Langston is close enough that he can see Windham just in front of him. You can see at the top of the screen, as the camera angles change, Grant Langston comes by. There he is. And right behind him comes Alessi.
And I don't know if you guys caught that, but as Windham came out that right-hander, there was a jump that was all rutted. One of the great things about Kevin Windham and his technique is that instead of going through that with the front wheel, he kind of sat on the seat and lifted the front wheel over and wheelied through that. And that's little things that a rider like myself says, you know what, that's what makes his technique so special.
Ivan Tedesco, the factory Makita Suzuki rider, number 9 on the yellow bike now, trying to deal with that privateer Grayson who's causing these factory guys so many fits. How much longer do you think we'll be saying privateer Gavin Grayson before we say factory rider Gavin Grayson?
Another couple of races, and that'll be it. He's put in a great series so far this year, and we definitely wish him the best. And right now, he's got a former motocross champion breathing down his neck, and Ivan Tedesco, who is recovering from so-so start, but still charging towards the front, showing that his fitness is there.
And Ivan, I think, ever since he's announced the fact that he's leaving the factory Suzuki team, headed to factory Honda next year, I think it's re-energized him, and he's starting to, a lot of the pressure he had on him this year seems to be off his shoulders, and he's riding like the Ivan Tedesco you expect to see.
Well, there's no doubt about that. I went through a change during my career. As you see, these guys are really battling it out, and Ivan squares him up and gets the position. Getting back to that, Ralph, sometimes you just need a change of scenery just to switch things up a little bit. You don't want to be stuck in a rut. So hopefully for Ivan Tedesco, it's the right choice for his racing career.
He's a tenacious rider, Ivan Tedesco. We expect good things out of him when he gets to Big Red next year. Kevin Windham's out front. We're coming back after this. Brought to you by Honda, the company that defines performance in motorcycles, ATVs, personal watercraft, and scooters. Do you live and breathe motorcycle racing? And how you can get the latest race results and news right on your phone with weekly green alerts from Speed. Text KX to 773333 on your mobile phone to receive free motorcycle racing text alerts. Speed Green Alerts presented by Kawasaki. Hey, a little additional programming for you here. AMA Pro ATV Open Competition. Now this was an invitational that took place here at Steel City by some of the best ATV riders in the world, like Doug Gus, the ATV legend.
And you notice these machines have 4 wheels here. A lot of roost. These riders have to hang off the sides of the bike. This is completely different than riding a 2-wheel machine, and sometimes it gets pretty wild.
Pat Brown on the 199 got the whole shot. There was about $5,000 up for grabs for winning this thing, and Pat Brown took the whole shot and the cash.
Completely dominated on this day.
There you see the 44 of Winan. Chad Winan on the machine getting involved in this battle here with Gust as well.
And what makes this type of racing so special, anyone that follows open-wheeled racing, you know when those tires touch and they climb on each other, these things start flipping around out of the way.
The AMA getting heavily involved in bringing ATV racing back to the top. That's one of the reasons why they put this event on. And Pat Brown very happy they did, as he claims a $5,000 check for winning this invitational here at Steel City. And he even gets a handshake from the legend himself, Doug Gust, who came across in third. Pat Brown standing on top of the podium. Here's a look at those that took place. Congratulations to Pat Brown on winning the AMA Pro Invitational here at Steel City for the ATVs. Let's get back to the two-wheel competition here at the Monster Energy Kawasaki Motocross National Round 10 of the AMA Toyota Motocross Championship. And the battle for the lead starting to heat up. Kevin Windham still has the position, but you can definitely tell that Grant Langston and Mike Alessi are closing in.
Oh, they are closing in big time. These guys are putting in a huge effort here, and Wyndham's trying to keep his composure and keep focused. Okay, try not to look behind him, not to worry about what's behind him, but just hit his lines, not make any mistakes. Langston and then Alessi, on the other hand, he's the chaser here. He's the aggressor. He's going to let it all hang out because he wants to win that overall today and duplicate what he did in the first moto.
And also Andrew Short's not so far behind these guys, and Gavin Graysick hanging around back there as well, keeping things interesting from the privateer side.
Change the pace of this championship between these top four riders in the motocross class.
Langston on the factory Yamaha running the new bike, and it seems to be working very well last few rounds.
Yeah, Langston's riding the 2008 Yamaha 450 4-stroke. Says that they made some changes to the chassis that allows it to flex. Okay, so it says it gives the bike a little more traction. Says he's a rider that likes to steer the bike with the front end. He puts all of his weight over the front. As you see him really nailing that turn, catching up to Windham.
And going to the inside, but Windham shuts the door.
And remember, that was the same place in the first moto that Langston took the position from Windham.
Back to the Honda aerial cam, picking their way through the ruts.
And that's a really nasty off-camber there coming into the finish line, that big right-hander. A lot of the turns here at Steel City are off-cambers, and that's why that one main rut is so valuable, to just banking off of that and rocketing forward on the track. Thanks to getting a mouthful of roost there from Windham.
That's usually encouragement enough to hurry up and get the pass completed.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it. That roost hits you. You know that stuff's like getting shot with some buckshot.
Windham and Langston, you can see how they've closed it up. How far back Langston was and how close he is now.
Windham really keeping his composure, and you see him hitting the exact same lines lap after lap right now. That's a good sign. He really has got his heart rate under control, and he's focused on what is in front of him.
That's a seasoned veteran.
Oh, no doubt about it. He's had a lot of years and a lot of laps on the track here at Steel City.
Any keys to running fast here at Steel City with the type of dirt that they have here in Pennsylvania?
It's all about the turns here. It's all about these ruts, keeping your feet up, keeping proper balance, and hitting the apex of the turn in the right spot. A lot of these ruts here today, especially late in the second moto, they've got these double apexes where the mud berm has pushed out, so there'll be a couple of turns within the turn. So to balance the bike properly through that and to get through that smooth without having to dab your foot or lose your balance to the high side, that is the key part to making these turns perfect.
One thing you noticed through that corner there was Langston ran the exact same section through there, basically through here as well as Windham. And usually the only way around is to go where the other guy isn't.
Well, he's got it. Windham has a couple of bike links on Windham right now, so it's okay to take the same line.
He'll have to change it up as he closes in. We're coming right back. Steel City, Cross National, Steel City Raceway. Part of the AMA Toyota Motocross Championship Series. Kevin Windham leading here in moto number 2, looking to wrap up the overall.
Kevin has led wire to wire so far.
He's got Grant Langston on the Yamaha and Mike Alessi on the Red Bull KTM giving chase.
And remember, the first moto, Alessi won, Langston was second, Windham was third. As they sit right now, Windham's going to have the overall.
Mike Alessi getting KTM their first moto win in motocross competition as the day got underway here with moto number 1. That was huge.
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely. But right now, look at Grant Langston, number 8 on the factory Yamaha. He is really scrubbing over some of these tabletops. His entry speed to the corners, he's closing right up on the back of Kevin Windham, but once Windham gets on the power of that 450 Honda and gives Langston a blast of dirt, sets him back a couple of bike lengths.
But Jeff, now he's closed in and he's still running the exact same line. Whoa, and he really lost time through there. And he's off the course. And he loses second to Alessi.
Langston makes a mistake there.
Is that because maybe he was too much in the same line, too low, too close, that he lost his sight?
There's no doubt that it very well could have been Langston been too close there out of that left-hander. Let's take a look at the replay here. See, he's right on Windham. He tries a different line. He switches it up and just loses traction. And watch him right here. Hits another rut. Then almost hits one of the track workers. One of the AMA officials just narrowly escapes that. It's a pretty good ride by Grant Langston to keep that bike on 2 wheels and not go down.
And a perfect reason why they always tell you never turn your back on a racetrack.
Yeah, exactly. But the beneficiary here is Mike Alessi. Now he's in the position to take the overall.
Gets KTM and himself their first moto win in motocross competition in Moto number 1. Now he could get maybe the first overall for his career here today.
And that would really be something special. Mike Alessi has worked really hard for that. Has always had a lot of success here at Steel City. Really performs well here on the bike. But he's kept his composure here today. Grant Langston made that little mistake that could be the difference in this overall.
Well, in Moto number 1, Kevin Windham went off course while battling with Grant Langston, and now in Moto number 2, they flip-flop.
Flip-flop, but right now you see Windham holding his line. Alessi has been really strong also, and Grant Langston, after that mistake, is still on the rear wheel of Mike Alessi. Anybody that knows Grant Langston knows that this guy does not give up. He's going to battle it all the way to the checkered flag.
Well, and he's sure not going to be happy having Mike Alessi in front of him. As you mentioned, those two have some history.
I won't elaborate on that anymore.
So Langston chasing him down, and the championship is at stake. We can't emphasize that enough. With 2 races left to go, 4 motos in front of them after today, every point is so critical in this championship. And Mike Alessi, Grant Langston, Andrew Short, and Tim Ferry, who's working his way up through the field, all with a shot at taking this championship. And Ferry all the way up to 8th now, Jeff, after going all the way back to dead last, 40th position after the gate drop.
That's what Ferry has to do. He has to keep plugging away and keep passing riders and getting those points. Right now, we got this great battle for the overall, Bruin.
But with 4 motos left, Tim Ferry can't afford to lose those points as the gate drops too many more times. We'll be right back. That's the championship. We're in Delmont, PA this week. Round 10. You watch from our Honda onboard aerial cam. Windham working his way through traffic, and Michael Alessi giving chase on the Red Bull KTM, and he's coming fast.
I tell you, the intensity right now for both these riders as they have to battle their way through these lapped riders is so high. Right now, Kevin Windham is doing just what he has to do, go out and win the moto, but if he's going to win the overall, he's going to need a little help, because as it sits right now, Michael Alessi is in a position to take the overall.
Well, Windham definitely knows he's there, as Alessi showed him a wheel.
And Alessi sensing the opportunity to take 3 more points away from Grant Langston towards that championship. Kevin Windham being a little stingy, doesn't want to give him up.
Not been an outstanding year for American Honda. If they can end up winning this championship with Andrew Short, well, that would give them something to get a little bit excited about, because it was a rough Supercross season for them.
It's been a rough couple years actually for them, but right now they have Kevin Windham, one of the satellite teams, the Sobe No Fear Factory Connection Honda, leading this moto, and Michael Alessi breathing down his neck. Is in position for the overall. He doesn't want to spoil that, but he also knows that more points go for first in they do for second. He needs every point he can get towards the championship.
And Grant Langston's right behind him in third. So if he can put one rider in between the two of them and get the difference in points, that'd be huge in this championship for Michael Alessi. Boy, what a story that would be if Michael Alessi could end up winning this motocross championship this year.
There is no doubt about that. He has been touted since he was an amateur. He has been so close so many times in the lights class. Only 19 years old right now, riding in the big bore class in the motocross championship. Wyndham, one of the veterans. Grant Langston, multi-time champion. Veteran also, former world champion.
Langston having won everything he could possibly win in the world in the lights class. Oh! Boy, did you see the back end swap around on Michael Alessi, but somehow he controlled it.
What a recovery after that mistake by Michael Alessi. Just hammers the throttle, and once again his feet come off. Michael Alessi letting it all hang out here. Look how Langston has closed in on Alessi and Wyndham.
Three riders battling for the win here in the closing stages of Moto2 at Steel City. And Langston goes to the outside. Tries to cut inside of Alessi. Can't get it done there.
And this has been Langston's spot, Ralph.
Side by side, he'll have the inside line, and he takes second.
And that's going to put Kevin Wyndham back in the position for the overall.
Wyndham trying to stay focused on what's in front of him, not trying to worry about what's behind, but he knows there's a lot of pressure mounting back there.
These three riders are definitely letting it all hang out. The pressure is building.
The best thing that can happen for Wyndham is Alessi and Langston keep battling. We'll be right back.
Is your life lacking a little excitement? Superbikes.
It's going to be a good
Synergy Kawasaki Motocross National at Steel City. Round 10 of 2007 championship season. Kevin Wyndham is out front of Grant Langston and Michael Alessi. Langston on the 8, Alessi on the 800. Kevin Wyndham is your leader on that red number 14.
Right now, Kevin Wyndham is in the position for the overall, but Grant Langston is charging hard.
Here he comes, trying to pull up alongside. Langston takes the lead in mid-flight. And now the Sobi No Fear Samsung Honda rider falls back to second.
That's going to give Grant Langston the overall right now.
And maybe the championship points lead.
25 points in this moto towards the championship. What an effort by Grant Langston here today after a couple of mistakes, and he has not let off. He has kept the throttle on that factory Yamaha.
And we saw the white flag, 1 lap left to go here in Steel City. But look, Langston and Wyndham swapped the lead back and forth in moto number 1. I don't think Kevin Wyndham's done just yet.
He is not done. Look, he's trying to sneak back up the inside. Kevin knows the urgency here. Just let that overall slip away.
Grant Langston out front. Everybody fighting for traction. Look at these guys just manhandling these big 450s around.
And both riders make a mistake through that section. Wyndham makes another mistake. These guys their heart rates are capped out right now.
And waiting in the wings for these two to make the big mistake, Michael Alessi on that Red Bull KTM.
And Alessi in the last lap has slipped back just a little bit. Had he not slipped back, and he was right there, definitely would have been able to take advantage of both of those mistakes. Still, these riders are incredibly close. Any mistake by Langston or Wyndham is going to change up the whole overall here.
30 minutes plus 2 laps in each of these motos, and we're down to the final lap. It's been a long day here at Delmont, PA for these riders. It's been an intense day of racing, and we've got half a lap left to go for Grant Langston. Langston trying to work his way to the finish. Oh, you know what? Alessi's starting to reel in Wyndham here.
Alessi, one of those riders who can really let it hang out when he has to. Look how close he's closing up on Wyndham.
Oh, Alessi right inside of Wyndham. Even if these two swap positions, it won't affect the overall. However, it will have major implications in the championship. Oh, Alessi trying to get the drive off the corner. Wyndham doing everything he can to keep him behind, but it looks like he's opened up the inside. I thought that was going to be it.
And Kevin Wyndham just slammed the door on Michael Alessi. This is the last In the last turn, this is the famous off-camber where so many passes are made right at the finish.
Oh, unless he throws everything at it and Wyndham just holds on for second. Grant Langston takes the win, his first overall motocross win for the factory Yamaha rider. What a great day for Grant Langston. And Tim Berry will come along in 7th. We'll be right back to talk to them all after this. 2007 Tundra, the truck that's changing it all. Did you miss any AMA racing action? Want to relive the excitement? Watch all the 2007 AMA Supercross and Superbike events on Speed, on demand, online. And it's all free, courtesy of Yamaha. So log on now to speedtv.com, keyword Yamaha, and get up to speed. All the riders on the track are AMA members. Are you? If not, call 1-800-AMA-JOIN or visit amadirectlink.com. AMA, rights, riding, and racing. Grant Langston, a huge win. His wife Chelsea hugging him, giving him congratulations and a hard-earned bottle of water after that one. Michael Lessie has to worry about his brother a little bit and about what could have happened here today.
Definitely disappointing for Michael Lessie, but still a great effort for him. He really battled hard today.
You take a look through the rest of our Toyota Trucks unofficial results. We check in with Kevin Wyndham, who's with Aaron Bates.
Kevin Wyndham giving it everything he's got out there for that second moto. Kev, so close, you almost had it. Could you taste it at that point?
Oh man, it was a tough position to lose there. I think I had the overall, and then Grant passed me with a lap to go and made a little bobble on the infield double. Grant did. I thought I could get him back, but it just never happened. And Leslie was right there too. So I mean, every corner, every lap, it was a taxing moto and fun. You know, a lot of fun to be racing that type.
It was a lot of fun to watch, I can tell you that, Kevin. Here's our Toyota Trucks overall results. Grant Langston takes it with a 2-1 on the day.
Yeah, and you can see just how tight that was in the top 3. They were clearly the best guys here today. 2
rounds in a row. We catch Mike Alessi up here on the podium. Mike, as ecstatic as everyone else is for you, you seem a little bit frustrated with yourself right now.
Yeah, I had the speed to win. I should have pulled the trigger a little earlier and got around the guys. I was kind of waiting for a mistake, and Grant made a mistake, and then I was just waiting for Wyndham to make a mistake, and he was riding good, but second's better than a third, so see you guys at Freestone.
That we will, Mike. That's the next stop. Here's a look at the points, and look at this. Langston by 2 in front of Short, and he's got 4 on Tim Ferry, and even Michael Leslie's still alive in this one. Well, let's talk to the winner. Here's Grant Langston with Aaron.
Grant Langston, your new points leader, leaving here after Steel City. Grant, you really didn't have any expectations when you came in here as far as the championship goes, but at this point, you are now the leader. What goes through your mind?
The last few weeks have been great, really want this bad. I guess that's one of the biggest things, and we've just been working hard, and we've been working on that new bike, and man, what a great race. I mean, you never knew who was going to win it, and I just dug deep, man. I gave it everything I had, and I wanted to win real bad, and I just pulled it off. Those guys were going for it, and unbelievable. I'm stoked for my first win for myself and Yamaha and all our other sponsors.
Congratulations and good luck to you in the last 2 rounds.
Jeff, just 4 motos left.
And I tell you, the key thing that he said is that he dug deep. That's what champions have to do at this point in the motocross championship to win that thing.
It's going to be fun to watch. You'll see the next round from Texas here on Speed, September 9th, 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Make sure you join us for that. Nobody's been there before. Well, for Aaron Bates and Jeff Emmett, I'm Ralph Shaheen. So long from Steel City, and congratulations